4K Kitchen.
Alright everybody, hope all's well. It's been too long. Today I'm going to be showing you a knockout recipe for chicken salad on brioche. Let's begin with 5 bone-in, skin-on chicken breasts. First, carefully peel the skin from the breasts. I know that the gloves look a little odd, but I just don't want to get chicken on my hands here. Once you've removed the skin, peel the breast from the bone to expose the tender. Then, using your fingers, remove each tender. Since we're poaching these breasts, there's really no way to get the skin crisp unless you work with it separately. Therefore, I'm crocheting the skin to a cake rack and placing it in the fridge overnight to desiccate. Next, I'm going to brine the breasts for 4 hours in a 1% salt solution by weight. Weigh the breasts in grams. Add enough water to completely submerge the breasts and then some. Make it a nice even number, in this case 3,000 grams, so it's easy to grab the 1% weight. Whatever weight you decide on, multiply that number by 0.01. In my case, the 1% is 30 grams. Rinse the brined breasts and begin making your marinade. For 5 breasts, I'm using 5 grams of rosemary, 20 sprigs of thyme, 50 grams of garlic crushed, 2 grams of esplette pepper from France, 10 turns of freshly ground black pepper, 5 grams of lemon zest, 50 grams of lemon juice, and 500 grams of creme fraiche. Fold the marinade together with a spatula and add it to the container with the chicken. Massage the marinade into the chicken using your hands and place it in the fridge overnight. Also going in the fridge overnight is our brioche dough. Add the flour, eggs, water, and yeast to the bowl of a stand mixer. Mix on low speed with the paddle attachment for 3 minutes. Then, switch to the hook attachment and mix for 7 minutes on medium speed. Once the 7 minutes have elapsed, mix the sugar and salt in a bowl and add it to the mixer in 3 hits, allowing each addition to fully combine before adding the next. Then, add the butter all in one hit and mix for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes have elapsed, turn the dough into a container misted with spray oil, cover, and place in the fridge to ferment overnight. Day 2. Shape the brioche dough like so. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees F or 176 C. Place into a loaf tin misted with spray oil seam side down and allow to proof for 2 hours while covered with a damp cloth. While the dough proofs, we can go ahead and poach the chicken breasts. Here I'm melting 25 grams of unsalted butter over high heat. Then I'm adding 270 grams of chicken carcasses that we separated and browning them well over the course of about 5 minutes. Then, I'm adding 105 grams of shallots, simply halved. I'm adding a whole small head of garlic, which comes out to 25 grams. I'm also adding half a lemon, which comes out to 25 grams, and lightly browning that. Finally, we're going to add an entire bottle of white wine. In my case, a cheap French chardonnay, which comes out to 750 milliliters. Pretty standard. Then add the carcass bits, mine came out to 270 grams, and add that amazing brined marinated chicken. Turn the heat off and cover. At the 10-minute mark, I just gave mine a flip. At the 30-minute mark, mine were cooked. Now, the cooking time is going to depend on how well your pot holds heat, as well as how thick your chicken breasts are. This makes poaching chicken a little touch and go, so in a moment, I'm going to show you a method that ensures it. In the meantime, cool the cooked chicken breasts in an ice bath, and reduce the poaching liquid down to a sauce, which will come in handy when you're enjoying some of this poached chicken for dinner. Anyway, back to our brioche. Once the loaf has proofed or proven or risen for 2 hours, brush it with egg wash and place it in the oven and allow it to bake for 50 minutes. Unfortunately, this loaf split. It's still delicious, it still has nice crumb, but it's split. So here's the second loaf. It also split, God bless it. Just to prove that this brioche can in fact turn out perfectly, here's some footage of me slicing a brioche from a dinner party I threw a few weeks ago, which also featured a chicken salad sandwich. About that method that ensures perfectly cooked chicken. Enter sous vide. I know, it's a crutch, but it's definitely a way to ensure precision in cooking. Here I'm vacuum sealing 2 of the breasts and placing them in a 155F or 68C water bath for an hour and a half. Time for knife cuts, my favorite part. Dice the chicken breasts into bite-sized pieces, about 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeter cubes. Weigh the total amount of diced chicken you've got. In my case, it's 684 grams. This is our quote-unquote 100% weight, or the amount from which we'll be deriving the measurements of the other ingredients. We're going to add 25% of that weight in grapes cut into vertical quarter wedges. The weight in grapes is 171 grams in my case. In order to calculate the weight, multiply the amount of diced chicken you've got by 0.25. Next up is 12.5% weight in celery, bright and fresh. Thinly slice the celery. My weight in celery is 86 grams. Now it's bell pepper time. I'm using a tricolor confetti of red, orange, and yellow peppers. The weight in bell pepper is 20%, which in my case comes out to 45 grams of each color. As you can see, I'm extracting nice flats from the peppers, removing the pith, slicing them into about 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimeter batons, and dicing those. Onto the onion. Use a sweet onion, Vidalia if you've got it. Dice 6% weight in onion, which in my case was 41 grams. I'm quickly blanching the onion dice just to remove that raw burn. Now that your knife cuts are done, it's time to mix in the aioli. If you follow 4K, which you should, you've seen me make this before in the French fries episode. I'll put a recipe in the description. The big question is how much aioli to add. Add too much and your chicken salad will be too wet, too little and it'll be too dry. That much is obvious. I arrived at 91 grams of aioli for this batch, which is about 13%-ish of the weight in chicken. I'm also adding 4 grams of salt, which is really a couple of good pinches, and a few turns of black pepper. All that's left to do is to make our fried chicken skin. Here I've rendered 2 strips of smoky bacon. This bacon came from Benton's Country Hams in Tennessee. Awesome stuff. Add to the rendered bacon fat the desiccated chicken skin. Fry on medium heat until puffed and golden, about 2 minutes. Transfer those golden, crunchy slices of chicken chicharron into a bowl lined with paper towel. Dust them with salt and a bit of chili flake. Time to plate up. Lightly toast a slice of the brioche and place it on the plate. Scoop on the chicken salad and garnish with fresh tarragon. Pretty simple stuff. I'm enjoying my chicken salad with a couple of the chicken chips, some pickle spears, and a little bit of Dijon on the side. So there you have it. Classic chicken salad with tarragon and grapes. Simply enhanced using science and some good techniques. So if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and definitely subscribe because I've got some new stuff coming up and it's going to be amazing.